Marianne of Waikiki.
Aloha. How's it going? Are we waiting for people to arrive?
Sort of, but we are recording on live right now.
Oh, well, aloha.
So I was just kind of giving a little bit of an intro, but if you have
Marianne of Waikiki. Aloha. How's it going? Are we
good,
waiting for people to arrive?
but we are recording sort of on live right now.
Oh, aloha.
But if you have any updates or say what you want, what you do.
But if you all right. Let's see. Aloha. It's rainy here.
Oh
We
yeah,
had so much severe storms, thunder, lightning, wind. It's just been flooding. We're staying home at safe, so I'm just trying to get set up here. Just let the cat out and got my hair wet.
as long as you
Who
don't.
let the cat out? Who? I did.
As long as you don't get blown away.
You know, that little fur ball might. Toto. Just like it's serious over here. It's pretty bad. Is Mr. Roscoff with us today?
He will be shortly.
Awesome. So Emily, let's kind of move forward about what's going to be happening this afternoon. We have Zita and the World of Women show, right? Podcast today.
It starts at 7:00 Central, 8 Eastern.
I believe that's 3 p.m.
Like 3 Hawaii time.
That's right. We're going to be joining and supporting our sister Zita, Happy Neighborhood Projects. That's right. Podcast later today.
Yes, but
Are you keeping warm? Are you keeping warm in Wisconsin and Minnesota? I heard the Minnesota fight song. That was a surprise. Never heard that one. So I finger spell it Minnoseta, Minnesota. Hey.
yeah, I'm trying to keep warm. It's been a little cooler recently, just today. But yeah, I'm trying to keep warm here in lovely southern Wisconsin.
Well, I feel bad. My girlfriend is visiting. She worked for FedEx and she always liked to transfer every 2 years to a different city to work in. And she's returning for her birthday, and the weather has just been nonstop rain. The cruises have been canceled.
Oh boy.
So all these different plans, I feel so bad for her. And then the hotels just being kind of moldy and mildy because of the rain. And
are they letting her plane?
Pardon me?
Are they like letting her plane?
I don't know.
Get into the airport then if they're like.
I think they're open. I haven't listened to the news, but just we got the alerts last night that severe alerts were going off on our phone, 10:00 at night, and just severe rain and flooding and all that. I canceled all my appointments today because I'm not going to travel, especially on a bus with a disability bus.
It's really bad weather. Yeah, you don't know.
No, exactly. So, and he just didn't know if some of the offices would be open because you don't know where they are and if they have electricity and if they're flooding too. So it's just a good day. We're going to regroup. We're going to do spa day. We're going to do foot massage. We did face mask. That's right.
Pedicure. Yeah, no swimming in the ocean day today or anything like that. But
not at all. Not at all. Especially with the Navy. The Navy has had issues with their water filtrations out there too. They're being investigated. So there's when it rains, just to let you know, the whole island, sewage everywhere. It doesn't matter. It just if it floods, then it goes into the water and it gets contaminated and it makes people sick.
Yeah, you guys are surrounded by water there.
Yeah, and can be surrounded by sewage too with the
yeah. Well, yeah, right. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, my deaf friend before he left in April 2018, 19, went and swam at Magic Island and got E. coli in his ear.
Oh well.
He's deaf and got E. coli in his ear from swimming in the ocean.
Yeah, hopefully the island doesn't go under or something with all the, not to worry you even more, but
No, we're staying home and we're staying safe. We're pre-quarantining to fly and getting everything in order, and so that we can travel. So everything is all set as far as I know. Yeah, I'm just gonna hop on the flight. I got a free ticket. So from all the app games and business miles I used, I got a free flight. So there you go.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So getting excited to go.
You have to just start all over, racking up points for the next.
Yeah, well, I got half of them to come back home. So I used the lowest one so that way I make sure I had it back. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah. So we'll see how that works. And who knows, I'm just gonna be floating on a boat. That's fine with me, floating on a boat, back and forth. Emily, here's the mast, floating on a boat.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. It's gonna be amazing. So where's Mr. Roscoff? So Emily, tell me about the nonprofits. What's happening with all the nonprofits?
We have our H&P meeting every Wednesday at 4, and now that the International Day of People with Disabilities is over, I think we are going to be probably European, seeing what our next thing to work on is.
Yeah. Well, we're getting down to the end of the year, and how many days we got left? What's today's the what? The 7th, and we go to the 31st. So we got 20 some days to end the year, wrap it up. And declutter. I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff no longer serving me purpose, donating it. I donated books to the preschool deaf teacher for the Acts of Kindness books and the puppets. So the classroom will have educational tools, books, and song and dance contests with sign language and puppets and everything. So I'm all set and leaving that legacy with them. And they were excited to receive a picture that Mr. Scott gave me as a gift for interpreting for him. It's a lotus lily that I am shifting that over to the deaf preschool. So they are all excited to learn. And then you can follow me and learn the Dr. Fingers Finger Spelling Hermit Crab app games and numbers. So everything is all up on Apple. And working with Trevor Gibbs to make sure that your websites are ADA compliant for 2022. So everything's in review for 2022. So exciting, Emily. Yeah, happy neighborhood, shifting the happiness. Shifting the happiness. So when I go on board, then I will be able to create the additional ones and start writing the sequel for climate change. So
how long are you during the Mexico trip? How long are you gonna be in Mexico?
Destination unknown this time. Bags are packed, and there you go. It's cost effective down there, and I'm with a senior citizen, and I'm going to be applying for senior living. So we'll see, wherever this ocean on the motion goes.
So you don't have a set number of
I don't
whatever you don't have like a set number of days you're gonna be gone or anything like that?
No, because it takes a lot of work too. For example, even though like 2017, I left in January, I didn't return until June. So it was prepping the boat, getting everything in order. We had to get a lot of provisions, food and everything, fuel. I mean, it takes time and to really plan out how long you're going to go, where's your next stop and everything like that. And, weather
Yeah.
can challenge it too.
Yeah,
So
yeah, especially big
I,
ship.
yeah, so physically that time was 91 days, 1,700 nautical miles sailing. But we did stop at port to port. So this is a different kind of captain. That's just, he was a dive captain, and kind of entertainment, taking you leisure sailing. So he kind of goes with the flow. The other sailor I was with was a retired Navy diver. So we got up early in the morning and port to port. So, so whole different thing, but different journey. And yeah, it's international waters and just don't really know what to expect. And so he made it. So that's the good news. He's a very skilled captain. We have other friends too that we know from the Transpac that may travel with us. So that's kind of exciting. And we know other boaters over there too from the yacht club, the Hawaii Yacht Club, that already have a boat over there too, a second boat. So what usually happens is there are other cruisers that go with you, just like a motorcycle club, or RV club. So you don't know who you're going to run into and where they're going or what they say. And you want to stay, you can stay. And we have 3 months free on a ball over there, I guess, in San Diego. So it means tying up your boat, not into a boat dock, but actually on a ball that's away from the docks. And we have a 90-day grace period there. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then check out the city. And my girlfriend said over there, her husband, who I sailed with too when I first came to Hawaii, his sister is in charge of Angel Aid. She works with Down syndrome and is a nonprofit that they want to introduce me to. So I hope to bring her into Happy Neighborhood projects as well. So I'm excited to see them.
What's Angel Aid? What's their mission?
Like I said, I think that's with actually it's mothers with children with rare disease. You'd have to look at it. I thought she mentioned something too about Down syndrome, but anyway, she's like some top executive with that. So I look forward to meeting with her and traveling on mainland and seeing my dear friend Scott. Either we'll go visit him or he'll come down to the boat. We'll take him out sailing. And then I also won that timeshare with Mike Toro that did the Compassionate Citizen presentation about his travel company. And he gifted me and Denise Vargas a free week stay. So I told my friends that too. So I said, if you can get us by car there, then I can lodge us. So it's going to be exciting.
Yep.
Who would have thought? I mean, yeah, like, yeah, I would have, but I live in paradise, but it's time to shift and go do that. And it's a dream come true and once in a lifetime thing. So,
Yeah.
and
I was gonna say, can you put me in your suitcase?
yeah, I know, exactly. Well, we do need crew. You would learn how to sail.
Yeah, I'm sure I would.
This is not no party ship. This is not no cruise ship. This is actually you physically sailing. But I have my own room. I have bunks and I have my own bathroom. So that's the nice part. And he's in the back, I'm in the front. And then there's the middle kitchen and living area, which is very large. And it's a beautiful boat, big backyard, big back deck, grill. And we took many people out sailing over here, friends and tourists, and just honored that I get a chance to go and do this. So we have other people, again, like I said, over there that have sailed from California to Hawaii or come over to Hawaii that are sailors. So we'll be able to see them that way too. Return the favor, return the volunteering.
Yes. I'm sure your deaf friend is excited that you're coming over.
Yeah, he is, but he's like, I don't know, I'm busy because I'm doing an externship now because I got certified as a veterinary pet assistant, but we'll work something out. So I'm glad, I'm excited. So yeah, but then I go, you know what, Robert's here with the boat. We're going sailing. Okay, well, we'll be down.
He has to make time for that.
Yeah. So anyway, he was all excited that he got the Hawaii 5-0 t-shirts. We sent him not one, but two, one that said Hawaii 5-0 with Hawaiian Islands and one that says the 50th year, you're out of the world galaxy, some sort of thing like that. because he's a big Star Wars geek. And so is our friend Jim. So he sent that from him too. So all is well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just it's kind of just letting go of some things I need to take with me this trip, because I learned from the first trip a lot of the stuff I didn't need, and if not, I'll get it on the mainland, and he has that. So I'm going to try and travel light and just purchase everything over there. And then we're a pretty good team and working with getting provisions, and he's an excellent cook. So and I'm not that bad myself. I made a turkey here, so everybody was happy and pleased. So we'll get through it. And then if not, there's a lot of places to eat out. So just got to be safe and watch the water, right?
Mhm.
Watch the vegetables. Watch the vegetables. So
Yeah, it's really getting out of the storms in Hawaii.
yeah, well, that's
If we
winter.
haven't stopped- if
That's
we haven't
considered
stopped by
winter
then.
for us. That's considered winter. Tell us about the weather over there, Emily. Are you guys all ready for winter? It is December now, isn't it?
Yes. It's getting colder, but we don't have snow yet. We've had a few flurries, but we don't actually have actual snow that has stuck around.
Well,
Yeah.
today I wanted to highlight too. Thank you for everyone being of service. Today is the 80th anniversary of Pearl Harbor, and they are having a parade in Honolulu, weather permitting. So thank you for everyone being of service. 80 years, Pearl Harbor.
Okay. Yeah, I remembered it was.
Aloha, Kurt.
Oh, look who decided to show
So
up.
yes, you need to share with your veterans. Today is the 80th day anniversary of Pearl Harbor, and they are having a parade here in Honolulu, weather permitting, but we've had severe storms. So we want to thank all the veterans out there for being of service, especially the ones that were here in Hawaii, serving us and protecting our islands. Mahalo.
And thank you to all veterans. Carrie, what do you have to say today? That's from the Roscoff Manor.
Oh, what are the plans for the show? We're at our halfway point. What's the halftime show? What are we doing for the next 30 minutes of powerful podcasting? What's on the script and where are we going from here?
I don't know. Well, I explained kind of my itinerary, Kurt. I'm flying off. I'm getting my bags packed and letting go, and come sail away with me in 2022. So, but we were just talking about sailing, and again, the people being of service in the military for the 80th anniversary, and just followers that could possibly follow the Disability Channel, the Compassionate Citizens Channel, World of Ability podcast, Happy Neighborhood projects. Every day during the week, you can join us for some sort of event, activity, or masterclass. And Kurt, since we celebrated International Disabilities Day last week, what do we have in store for our future calendar of events? Do you have any idea for 2022? What do we have to look forward in 2022 with you, Mr. Ambassador?
Well, let's see what the searches are showing. If we're missing anything happening now, like in the week following United Nations International Day for People with Disabilities. I'm going to do a little Google search here. What is the month of December known for with Disability Advocacy Day? See what I'm missing. I'm thinking that there's pretty much something going all the time. Let's see here. I'm not seeing any hits though I see Disability Pride showing up, but I don't think that's December. Let's see what month that is though, since July is Disability Pride month. Let's see here. Taking a guess, some group must be doing something this month. Let's see here. What is Disability Advocacy in December 2021? Let's see here. It's taking me to the ARC, the League, Americans with Disabilities, Disability Facts with Easter seals. Rise.org. Let's see here. The day is designated to promote and elevate awareness on inclusion, leadership. Trying to figure what this is here. Disability advocacy. World Disability Day. That's interesting. What is World Disability Day? Let's see here, Emily. Are you showing anything in terms of December or January for that matter? What
Let me
is
have a
World
look here.
Disability Day 2021? I don't know if World. Oh, when I search for World Disability Day, it comes up as the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Let's see here. Let's go to January since I'm not finding anything on December. What is disability advocacy in January? Now, in terms of a next effort, I do know that we are doing something for 222 to save 22 in February. So Marianne, do you have that marked on your calendar notes? Do you have that saved on your phone calendar, whatever you do for advanced planning?
Could you repeat that again, Kurt? What was February?
22nd.
What's happening?
It is 222 to save 22, which is an
Oh,
event
that's right. Save 22. That's right. I'm putting it in there.
and to help combat veteran suicide.
Got it.
Sam Wheat and Molly Jensen. Ghost.
Hi, Maria.
Aloha, Maria.
Hi guys. Sorry,
Maria.
I'm not feeling 100%.
Maria.
I'm not feeling 100%, guys. But I just wanted to come in and join you because I'm really passionate about what you're doing and everything you stand for. So I just wanted to support you guys because I'm so passionate about everything.
Well, thank you for joining us.
It's
Yeah,
my-
my Fiverr graphic designer, she's under the weather too with seasonal flu in Pakistan.
I think it's since I had the long COVID, I've just not been 100%. This one days I'm okay, and other days I'm not. So yeah, I've kept my camera off because I look absolutely hideous. So I'm like, I'll scare your audience. So I thought, no, I'll just keep my camera off. How are you been?
Good. Getting ready to set sail. So just trying to wrap things up. This past weekend, I dropped off books and the puppets for the second book, Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully, to the deaf preschool teacher. So they have all the books and the
Oh
puppets
yeah,
to
that's
follow
great.
with us. So they will be my little class testimonial,
Fantastic.
hopefully, and hope to meet with the teacher Lily before I sail away. And it feels good to leave that legacy to them. And it was great to be on HNP Talent this morning. There's a person that has gifts. So we're going to talk about gifts. And speaking of gifts, you can go and purchase Apple gift cards and play the Apple app games to my series of books, Acts of Kindness.
Oh, that's really great.
Yes.
Amazing. Well
Yes.
done.
Yes.
Yeah,
So everybody wins. So yeah.
yeah.
And I look forward to speaking with you for the 3 hours. So that
Absolutely. We'll definitely do that.
filmmaking and Zeta too. And there's the grant lady, Christina, I think it is, that was on talent too. So we got so much to go.
Yeah, I've been on the
happening
talent.
for 2022.
Yeah, I've been on the talent thing before, and then I've connected to a few people. But also because I do like work for, I do lots of different projects, and trying to get the time to do everything, it's just been a bit crazy. It's just been like a bit and I watched Nick's Hard film preview film Freebird. I saw it on YouTube. What an amazing beautiful celebration of Down syndrome. It was fantastic. I loved it. I hope he does win the Oscar. I hope he really does. I think
Yes, yes. I get my dress out to wear to the Oscars. I'm planning on it, Kurt. I have the dress, and then I have the top that goes for a cocktail hour afterwards.
I think it's real. I really
Like
think
a volcano. I've had it hanging since in my closet. At the Unity Church of Hawaii, we would have these classes, and we had to dress up one day of where you see yourself. And I said, I see myself at the Oscars, sitting next to Leonardo DiCaprio with my books, Ocean, Underwater Acts of Kindness, and the Suzanne Sims and the band would be there too. And best animation movie with sign language characters and soundtrack by Lucy Lynch and the
No,
we're still affirming it. We are still affirming it.
I really do believe he's got a really, really good chance. Emily, what do you think? I really think he's got an amazing chance for next year's Oscar, especially with a lot of people looking at in the UK disability rights for people in the film and TV industry and the lack of awareness. Have you seen the preview on YouTube?
No, I have not.
It's amazing. You have to watch it. I really believe he's got a really big chance. I could see him, and I do believe I'm also doing some stuff on human rights, which is on the 10th of December, and that's something the company like Enterprise Got Biz, we actively right now as an organization are always actively rescuing human trafficking victims, and that's our remit, is to stop human trafficking across the group. Emily, as someone who works with ex-army veterans as well, and we were talking before about now, like Kurt was saying, there's 33 suicides per day of ex-armed forces veterans. How can we reduce that? What can we do to reduce that number? One is too many, but 33 is so much. And that's just including the States, and that's not including globally. What can we do as a society to make it better? What do you think we can do?
That's the reason that we are having our 222 to Safe 22 event in February.
I know, but I was shocked when Kurt told me, and when Anna Maria Blevin said 33. I was taken aback. Kurt, were you?
Yeah, I mean, the number itself is alarming, but then to also think about the trend is that, a decade ago, it was all about, 22 veterans a day, we lose to suicide. And then now we're at a statistic of 33. That's 50% growth. That's time and a half what it used to be. So that's a trajectory that's completely in the wrong direction, completely the antithesis of why the awareness was started a decade ago to drive it to zero. I mean, it was meant to be a zero suicide initiative, but it's actually growing. So obviously what's been going on in the handful of years of the past has been good. I mean, we obviously needed that because otherwise it could be even worse.
Yeah.
But we're way off target in terms of what our veterans need to actually have the help when they need it.
Yeah. You think COVID has a link to it as well? I think COVID has played a part. In it.
Yeah, it's played a part, and so yeah, I would suspect that they've had a spike in the last year and a half, almost a couple of years, and so that's there. But I don't think it's entirely the explanation for, how we're seeing so many cases at this day, and that we're at this rate where it's escalating. So basically,
absolutely.
If we don't start doing something, I mean, in a handful more years, we're going to be talking about 44 veterans a day lose their life to
Ab-
suicide.
Absolutely.
Keep going.
What do you think as a global society, governments can do? Because we were talking about like onwards and upwards. They have the fantastic remit of like creating like jobs for its army veterans, and I think there needs to be more companies across the globe creating. Right now in Screen Skills in the UK, we're looking at we're looking at we're looking at we're looking at just be me a moment. That's just me. Just be me.
I apologize. I need to leave. Thank you so much for everything. I'll see you later this afternoon on Zeta's. Aloha, it's Mariana Boykin.
Thanks, Marianne. Mahalo.
Yeah, it's going the wrong direction, dude.
I really think that there needs to be like more companies, like big organizations, open the doors to having like jobs. Because here in the UK, we have like we're getting more ex-army veterans into the for the last couple of years into the film industry, into locations, specifically locations. Is that what is that what's happening in United States, Kurt?
Well, I would say it's happening, but the issue is that certain people, you know, are assigned to make those things happen, and the number of people that are available and funded to, you know, as paid work, you know, make that stuff connect and to move that forward and to get that participation and to get the information out and make it messaging that people can understand and do something with. By the time they, you know, do much of anything, their time is out, you know. So yes, it is happening, but you know, collective impact is the direction for capacity building, because I keep saying over and over again in my responses to societal issues is that, you know, we need to always be organizing with the faith community, you know, in the service sector with volunteer organizations, in the educational sector to look at where knowledge is shared, whether through at libraries, you know, yeah, the business community, and then all the fun things as well. You know, the hobbies, pastime, sports, leisure, recreation, travel, therapeutic activities. You know, we need to look at what people are doing in consuming their days, and we need to find out how are we catching people where they are at there, and to have messaging to catch a person, to let them know in that activity, to say, hey, we need you.
Oh, I agree. I think the government needs to do a lot more. I'm not talking just about the US government. I think government in general and corporations in general need to do much more to get the work to get, because these ex-army veterans, they've got like PTSD, they've got a lot of trauma. Some of them have got a lot of trauma, and it's our duty to create employment for them, because they've got amazing skills that are transferable. And I think it's really important that we do help, because you and I know a lot of non-profits that are doing that as well, especially JR, what he's doing with his ranch, and he's looking to get a ranch with horses. So there's lots of organisation in the Disability Channel. I'm sure that a US ambassador does a lot as well. Onward and Upward does a lot. The organisation that I will be working for is also going to be doing a lot as well. So I feel that I feel that we need to be able to. I feel we need to be able just to get all the non-profits that would do the same similar things collaborating together. So it's much. There's so many grassroots left. There's so many grassroots levels right now. Organisations in like with HMP and non-profit and HMP ability, like you said, Kat and Emily, working together. I think it's really going to make a massive difference because a lot of ex-army veterans that come back have disabilities from their service. And Marianne was always talking about ex-army veterans losing their hearing, and also about Anna Maria Blevin was saying that ex-army veterans, females that have served, they're invisible, and that's not right and not fair. They still do our service, and also we've got to remember the children and wives of these of the armed forces. They go through a lot as well, so they are embedded with, because they travel the globe with their member of the ex who's in the army. Some of them go who are serving are away for a year, 2 years, and that can be really hard on the families as well. So it's important they're also playing a service as well. They're playing their duty. They're not maybe in combat, but they're still serving. What do you say about that?
Yeah, that's I think it's important to get the uh, word out as best can. That's what we're trying to do with the coalition and the 222 event.
Absolutely.
Among other things.
That's the reason why with the being part of the Ramsgate International Film Festival and as a disability head of disability for that section, and the fact that our festival director Sylvia Botticelli, she has done the Fight Back Award, so she is she is there to get ex-army veterans to film their own story, and I think that's where we learn, and then where other people that haven't been in the army can understand. I think that's really important as well.
I agree.
That is right. Yes.
I think the more media attention we can get, the more mainstream media attention, and I think that's when you're going to make change. Would you agree with that, Emily?
I think so. Always help, always contribute in some way.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Answer, but
I know there's always going to be war, and I've been brought up to life is precious. I understand life is precious, but we also need to make sure that we keep the peace as well. For me, like the army's now more like a peacekeeping role. So it's really important that we defend people's rights.
Yes.
For you and I, if we were growing up in a different country, you and I may not have the right to vote. We wouldn't be able to have this conversation. We wouldn't be able to be educated. And especially for having a disability, we are so lucky that we have been educated. We have, and I think everyone's got the right to believe to be fully educated. And I think knowledge is when you see the most growth. When you educate people, I see the most growth.
Yeah.
Right now in the UK, we do have a serious threat level, absolutely, due to the fact what's happened a couple of weeks ago. It's scary. It's really scary. But you cannot stop helping people. You cannot stop. And what you do, Emily, is outstanding. How you give back to the community and how you service others is outstanding. You are a virtual assistant to lots of amazing initiatives. And you're an outstanding human being. And Kurt does a lot for the Disability Channel. And now Kurt has been the captain of HMP Veterans Group. It's really important for that group, and also important for all groups who collaborate in HMP. So because they've got the HMP non-profit, HMP Ability, the HMP Veterans Group. You've got now HMP Women, so LGBTQT. It shows that we are very inclusive, not exclusive, inclusive, and we open up our doors. And now I love the fact now we've got HMP in Lebanon, which is amazing.
Mhm.
I haven't been to it yet because the
I
time
haven't
difference, but that's amazing. And I love the vision of Edwin to help grow the community and helps collaborate and partner with organisations that can help and support each other, and that's so important. I believe, Kurt, I don't know if you agree with me. I believe the world is much more similar than we are different. Kurt, do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's always exciting to learn about the different nuances and the different traditions and the differences, but yeah, I mean, in terms of these topics, like when we talk about disability advocacy or human rights or, veterans, mental health, I mean, as we start dealing with these worldwide issues like human trafficking, yeah, I mean, it's something that can easily be unified and everybody can be on a level playing field to say it's an all hands on deck effort. And it's like Walt Disney Productions always said with the song, it's
yeah, absolutely. I do believe, like in the past, there has been like, I'm not going to lie and say Great Britain hasn't got a really checkered past. It has. We were slave traders before the America was slave traders, and that's something that should never have happened ever. To be get rich on the back of poorer people, that's not right. I don't agree with it. I think for me, I would love to see cultural awareness classes throughout the globe. I would like to see disability awareness classes, mental health awareness classes, and mental health in children at a younger age, and educate them really, really young to stop any bullying or misunderstanding. Because I found out, Kurt, that some countries in the past used to have human zoos, used to put human beings in zoos and used to have them as pet. That to me is like abhorrent. That's like, why would you do that? But that was that in the past. And I think We have to never repeat our past ever. And like what's happening, like with America right now, not going, American politicians not going to the Beijing Winter Olympics, I think is right, because China has the worst human rights. Rick, it's got the worst human rights, and there's lots of. If you look at China right now, there's lots of things going on in the background. Not every, a lot. Of, there's amazing people. I've got amazing Chinese friends, and Chinese people are the most beautiful people in the world. And it's not the Chinese people; it's the leaders. Not the Chinese people; it's the leaders. It should for me, there should be no concentration camps across any globe. We shouldn't have, like, for example, all these camps where refugees have to stay for years before they find a home. That's not right. Everyone should have entitled to a home, but the home depends on what you think a home should be. They should have food, they should have water, should have basic rights. Kurt, what do you think about that?
Kurt,
Oh, I didn't hear my name. I thought it was just a
Yeah.
question.
she was
I was-
asking you a question.
I was saying right now the US government is not going to go to the Beijing Olympics. I'm going to send any politicians over to Beijing.
Okay, so Maria, you were directing that question at me, or was that just
Yeah,
a
to
question?
you, Kurt.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, I didn't hear my name when I go back to the transcript. I'm not seeing where that was directed at me.
It's okay. I was saying the news that recently came out that Biden administration is not going to go to. There's still There's still going to be athletes going to China by Biden themselves, and no politician is going to go over to the Chinese Winter Olympics because of the human rights issues that China has right now.
Wait, so say this again. What is the U.S. doing with the?
China, the U.S. U.S. administration, the diplomats and the politicians are not going to be going to China.
Okay, so then
For the Beijing Olympics because of the human rights trafficking, the human rights issues that China has.
so are you saying you're in support of that? Are you saying that's a problem, or where?
I say I understand why they're doing that, why they're not going. However, there's so many amazing Chinese people out there across the globe that don't agree with the leaders of China.
Yeah, so then from the work that you do and what you're doing, are you liking that there's a stand being taken against China?
To be honest with you, I'm in two minds of the stand because it could be misinterpreted that all Chinese people are like that, and they're not. They're not. Because I've got lots of friends who are Chinese, who are amazing, and I've got lots of friends from Hong Kong, because Hong Kong right now is going through some turmoil as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the issue is that the way China works, that the China government has so much of the control. There's so much control by the government over the land on, what happens in these areas. And so, when we look at that, the government is not doing something that we can condone or doing stuff that we definitely are against. We do need to do these things that, even though, like you say, it's not representative of the people, that is just the reality of how
Mhm.
China works.
No,
People in
I
China can
understand
be at
that.
home with whatever they represent for themselves personally, but it really happens in China, and really what the rest of the world gets is dictated by the Chinese government. So
No, I absolutely understand that. The reason why I'm kind of nervous about it is because of what happened because of COVID, and the Asian Americans received so much hate crime against them, which was not fair and not right. So that's what I'm afraid of.
well, I think we again have to figure out what we predict is going to happen between the US government and the Chinese government, because, like here in the States, we as voters, we can create a huge dialogue, and we can do a lot of stuff to kind of communicate to the world and within our country and in our districts, what we believe as voters. In China, the way the governmental process is unfortunately, no matter how much things going on in China are against the people, the way China works is the government tells you the way it's going to be and controls information flow. There's things that you can't do in China that
Absolutely.
in the UK and America. So this is just a political science education that yeah, unfortunately, the Chinese people in China, unfortunately, yeah, get misrepresented. And so the idea of hate crimes, I mean, obviously it's not to say like people who are Chinese, all of a sudden have to just accept what's put against them. So yeah, if stuff like that is going on, there needs to be some awareness to say, direct your concerns, to the Chinese government, which our government is doing in the US. And yes, socially, we should not be directing our negative energies to any Chinese person.
That's what I mean, and because that's why I believe that if we have like cultural awareness classes in schools, and we go like to experience Chinatown, we go and experience different cultures. I believe this we will be more enlightened. Do you believe that?
Wait, do I believe that there needs to be cultural
awareness by
awareness?
teaching cultural awareness at school at an early age, and by integrating and having much more mixed and it's an inclusive environment, and by putting more different. I believe if you have like a melting pot of different cultures in one area and get cultural awareness, you're going to have less hate crime. You're going to have more people collaborating together.
Well, I think we need to be careful in how we move that forward. I think we're in a dangerous place if those of us that are not Chinese, those of us that are not living in China, if we start to move an energy forward that is going to be like cultural awareness, so that we're directing how people could be better treated. I think what we need to do is we need to develop relationships with people who live in China, and to say, is like with this cultural awareness, it should be from the feedback and the interests of people who live in China, and to be even careful about that. Because just because you get 20 people in China saying, yeah, cultural awareness and help us out, this is great. Yeah, we're getting the hate crimes. We have to really assess, how are we getting a good sample of what people who live in China are dealing with, and what those of us outside of China can do to, bring forth a cultural awareness that makes sense and that is of interest that people in China would ask for, which becomes a very delicate process, because if the Chinese government starts to get a sense that people in their country are creating an international dynamic where, we're starting to talk about, don't blame the people in China, the Chinese government is where it comes from, anything that has a propagandized take to it, the Chinese government is, I would expect the authorities would put a kibosh on it, and even electronically block those communications.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, but I just think it just needs to change.
Yeah. Now, to the point of what we're doing here at the Compassionate Citizens Project, I think that we can do things to personally appeal to people, no matter where they are in the world and what they're doing in life, or whatever the political circumstances or topic is, that compassion 100% of the time has a great place.
Absolutely.
So to do something that is a neutral idea of cultural awareness, and to just create something that's a personal development approach to it, and to just prepare people to come forward in a more compassionate way. Like,
Absolutely.
obviously, in terms of a hate crime, I mean, yeah, you can do cultural awareness and you can talk about the elements of hate crime and do whatever we got to do to stop hate crime, because hate crime isn't doing anybody any good.
No, hate crime is illegal and has to be stamped out. Hate crime against any person, be it LGBTQ plus, be it elderly, be it from any country, against any individual, is wrong, and it must be stamped out. It has to be stamped out. It must. And being compassionate doesn't cost anything. There's so many wonderful people, like during lockdown and COVID, neighbours would go and make, for example, we go and make biscuits for their neighbours and things like that. That's lovely. And for example, when you had the COVID in the mutual aid, when people came together to help one another across the world during the really start of the pandemic, that was amazing. I did some work for them, and I supported them. So it's really important, and I think it's important work. Because we can now change the world and make the world to how we want to see the world as, and shape it into a more compassionate kind of place.
Yep. I think we are at our time, or just past our
No worries.
time for the podcast.
Perfect.
But I would like to thank Maria and Ariane for joining us today.
That's not a problem. It's my pleasure.
And for anyone who has tuned in. And to please encourage everybody to for their activity on our social media pages. And encourage everybody to come back next week, same time, same place. Kurt, do you have any last words?
Well, before we get into that, Emily, are you able to do a screen share and show what you're doing to, get a start on that these shows are available out there? I mean, obviously, if somebody's watching this, they know that, but you're doing stuff on Facebook Live and YouTube, and I just think it would pay to show that. And then I shared some posts for my social media to kind of show how we can go ahead and share this conversation a little bit more assertively. So are you able to show those screen shares and go through that process with us before we end?
Sure.
Just before we end, it's really important that people understand there's a lot of fake news out there, so be very careful what you read on social media.
Very good. Okay, what did I do? Okay, so this is our YouTube. I'm gonna subscribe to Ability. I'll say no. And that'd be lovely. And then we do have a Facebook thing here. It's taking a little bit to load here. And we do have the Compassion Citizen Project Facebook page. And everybody could come and like, comment, share, and so on. That would be very helpful. And also I have been streaming our podcast to this World of Ability Facebook page as well. And so Those are two things. Are you wanting me to show what your videos, or we do have a role of ability pages and groups on LinkedIn. Even though we haven't been live streaming to LinkedIn, we still have we did. Well, maybe not. Well, it'll happen. We'll be having those pages. Anything else you'd like me to say, Mr. Roscoff?
Yeah, you were saying it and then not doing it. So I don't
Well, I
know
was
kinda what's
too.
going on your side, but I had you know, the link for my posts. So if you go
Okay, well, I was
to
saying,
my posts and
okay, I wasn't-
activities,
Good, I
I
wasn't
basically want to
showing your
show
vid-
how you can go on your personal. So I did here, you know, take a look at what Emily and Marianne are posted. These things can be updated because Maria Zaney was not included. We can hashtag Compassionate Citizens Podcast, and I'm including the Facebook side of that. So on my Facebook side of it, it again says take a look at what Emily and Marianne again can be updated to include Maria. So I just want to make sure that we have that ask out there for everybody. If you can be compassionate with our efforts here and help share it out through your pages, and you know, and kind of think of people that may directly have an interest in the topics we cover and the scope of our conversation. That would be greatly appreciated. If folks have any questions, comments, concerns, anything that's coming from our shows, feel free to email me, Kurt, KURT at the Disability Channel .us, and feel free to call and text me 262-372 one ski. That's 262-372-1754. And then take a look at what we've got here with transformubroadcast.com. A welcome to the World of Ability Network, which is where we provide these podcasts. And then also you have transformu.us is the homepage, landing page of the Transform You Media Network. And so in the time being, I'm going to go to transformubroadcast.com. You can see there, you know, the work that we're doing here with all of our podcasting and blogs, and we got film and radio going. So thank you all for your support in reacting and commenting and sharing everything we're doing here with our shows. And that will do it for today. We'll look forward to seeing you next time.